Oh, hey, Beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. Listen, man, so I was recently looking at my fragrance collection with Navitus Parfums, and you know I have 5 fragrances there, but more specifically, I was looking at Elation and Exalt Nuit. I was talking to a friend about masculine fragrances and what fragrances I have within my collection that kind of fit that bill. As I think through what time of year we are in now, I was thinking of Exalt Nuit. And then we had some conversation about spring and summer, and I talked to him about Elation and Veuve Matin. Now, the inspiration behind this video is that conversation. As you can see from the title, today we're going to be talking about 10 fragrances that make men smell more masculine. Of course, you want to be the most manly man possible, and today's video is going to help, as we have some fragrances that, well, smell manly. As I think through fragrances that smell manly, this first fragrance is one of those quintessential masculine fragrances, as most men go to this place. And this fragrance comes from Maison Margiela, the Replica series, and this one is at the Barbers. When I think of men, I think of barbershops and barbershop fragrances because, while these fragrances do smell manly, this fragrance here is one that kind of worked its way into my collection because over the years I wasn't the biggest fan of this fragrance. Not just this one, I'm not a huge barbershop fragrance fan, but this one is one that works. And when you think of masculine fragrances, well, you have to think of a barbershop scent, and this one here is good to go. At the Barber smells like shaving cream, and it has some leathery aspects to it, but this also comes off as this fresh, clean fragrance as you want to get up out of your barber's chair smelling and looking fresh and clean. Great fragrance overall, especially if you like the barbershop scents. I think this is a good one to go with. Not bad price. I think this one is $126 out of the retail store, so you can get this one in your collection easy. Replica or Maison Margiela Replica series at the Barbers. Next up, we have a fragrance from a house that I really enjoy, and typically when I speak of this house, I think of some of their more sweeter offerings, and this one isn't bad, but it's not anything that's sweet. A lot of you guys out there may feel that some of the fragrances I talk about from this house come off as unisex, because they are, but this one is masculine for sure. This one is from Byron Parfums, and this one is Byron Man. Now, Byron Man to me is really a masculine scent. It kind of borderlines a fougere fragrance, and it has this classic / traditional feel. Slightly spicy as you have some cardamom here. You also have some woody notes in this fragrance, but I think one of the key notes in this fragrance that stands out, which happens to be in the heart of this fragrance, is that rhubarb. Now, rhubarb can be a weird note to work with, as sometimes it comes off being quite bad in fragrances, and other times it's good. And in this case, I think this one was done correctly. So Byron, great job with this scent, man. I don't think I've actually did a full review on this one, but one of the things that I think about this one versus the others is I like that fragrance to have a little bit of sweetness in this, and this one doesn't have as much sweetness as I typically enjoy. But if you are into those drier, classic, traditional fragrances, I think this is one you would spring for. Byron Parfums, Byron Man. Next up, we have a masculine fragrance with a purpose, as this fragrance really has taken the environment in mind. This one is a vegan base product, and you kind of do a lot of things with this house that really make sure that you know, they are environmentally friendly and also extremely healthy. This fragrance comes from Shea and Blue, and this one is King's Wood. Now, King's Wood is a fragrance that I haven't talked about much on the channel. This fragrance has been in my collection maybe 2, possibly 3 years at this point. Let's call it 2 years. Let's call it 2 years that this fragrance has been in my collection. And here's what you need to know about this scent. One, yes, there is pineapple in this fragrance. Does it smell like a Ventus? Not the least bit. This one is a gentlemanly, elegant fougere fragrance that has a nice woody dry down, although it does have this tropical blend in the top of it. Now, when I say tropical, it's anything like Virgin Island water. It doesn't come off to be sweet, in my personal opinion. This fragrance is a drier, classic fougere fragrance. It also has again, this woody component that comes in with this scent. I think that this one is undeniably a men's fragrance, as I think of some of the other offerings that they have, like Salt and Caramel, Black Tulip, or others. They come off to be this unisex vibe, but they could go either way. But for me, Kingswood is a man's scent. With Shea and Blue Kingswood, you have herbs, you have oak, you also have some, again, that pineapple's there, so you have some fruit within the scent. But overall, you're going to get a clean, woody slash earthy slash dirty scent that has an interesting vibe that some of you out there may like. Kingswood from Shea and Blue. Next up, we have a 2020 release, and this fragrance is one that I did a full review on, so I'll leave all the details there for you down below if you want to check that one out. But this one is from Cartier, and this one is Pasha de Cartier Parfum. So this one is the more amped up approach of the original scent, and if you know anything about most of their fragrances, they come off as gentlemanly scents, and this one is a masculine scent for sure. To me, I think this fragrance is going to work for that guy that's suited and booted and ready to take on the day. This one is a dress up scent. I guess you could dress it down more on the casual side, definitely not a streetwear scent, but this is one of those fragrances that you could have within your collection. I personally feel like this fragrance is one that my grandfather could have worn. He was a guy who would wear, you know, Oxfords and dress pants on his normal day-to-day for slacks, but for me, I'm more of a streetwear urban guy. This is not one that I rock all the time, but I do have in my collection when I'm dressing up for work or something. This is one of those fragrances that I could reach for. Solid scent, all in all, good projection, good longevity. It works for what it's for. Pasha de Cartier Parfum 2020 edition. And speaking of fragrances to dress up for, this fragrance here is one that is classic and classy for sure. This one is a newer release from the house, and when I say newer, within the last few years, and this one is Vetiver Parfum Cologne from Roja Dove. This fragrance really is a top tier contender in my opinion. Personally, I do enjoy the note of vetiver, Tom Ford, great vetiver. Obviously this one here definitely does work for me, and there are some others out there that I really enjoy. But this fragrance is one that really stands out. When I think about the fragrances with that vetiver note that I enjoy, you have Sultan Vetiver, I believe is the name from Nissian. All in all, these fragrances can be dressed up. That vetiver provides us earthy aspect to it that comes off masculine and manly in my personal opinion, but it's one that still comes off in this elegant feel and vibe. So this is a fragrance that you can rock and wear with confidence if you're looking to command respect of the room as a man and a gentleman should. Vetiver Parfum Cologne is on the list today. Now we have 5 fragrances down and 5 more to go, and this next fragrance is on the list because, well, I think that this fragrance is definitely going to make you smell more like a man. It could possibly put some hair on your chest if that's what you're into. This fragrance comes from Kilian, and this fragrance is none other than Dark Lord. Now, I was a huge fan of Dark Lord prior to it coming out. I was like a huge fanboy. I wanted this fragrance because I really enjoy Kilian's scents, but this fragrance really didn't hit the nail on the head for me for what I was looking for or where I was at. At least when I heard the note breakdown, I was expecting something different. But what I'll tell you is that when you think of this fragrance in the mindset of what this fragrance should have represented, I'm like, this makes sense. And the people that I've met over the years that have purchased this fragrance have really worn this fragrance as men, and they've really dressed this thing up in their leather jackets and ready to take on the day. This fragrance definitely is one that's going to garner attention, whether good or bad, depending on how you rock this day, is really going to really set the precedence of how you should be treated, or this fragrance really demands compliments or not. This fragrance has this leather aspect to it. It's dark, it's dry for sure, and there's really not any sweetness in this one here. So feel confident in your approach when rocking this scent because you're really going to make or break this one. But if you want to smell manly, this is definitely one you should wear. Now, Dark Lord is potent. Again, it's dry, but another fragrance out there that I've recently got in my collection last year that is potent, it's dry, it jumps off the skin, it's long lasting. This one comes from another fragrance house that is known to put it down, from the house of Homage, and this one is Interlude Man Black Iris. All right, now this fragrance here is strong. It's powerful. It garners attention. It screams and says, I am here. king me, okay? This scent here is definitely going to get some heads turning when you wear this one. It's dark, no sweetness really in this scent, and I think that it takes a special someone to pull this fragrance off, but it's definitely a fragrance that you could rock and get away with because, well, you are you. In Interlude, man, Black Iris, you have orris, you have frankincense, you have myrrh, you have leather, and the list goes on. This thing is not light by far, but this fragrance is one that I think if you rock this thing in an appropriate situation, you could leave as the man, all right? Interlude, man, Black Iris from the house of Unwashed. Now, the next fragrance on our list comes from a house that I really enjoy. A lot of their fragrances that I own, I'm like, yeah, this is it. This next one is an Oriental fragrance, and this one comes from Parfum de Mali, and it's not what you're thinking when I talk about Oriental fragrances. This one is Nissian, which is this fragrance that is bold. This fragrance is bold. Now, traditionally, when we talk about some of their fragrances, they have this sweet aspect to it, and there's a subtle hint of sweetness here, but this fragrance, for me, where it really stands out is some of those bold notes and aspects used in this scent. For me, this fragrance is smoke, spice, and wood. Now, with the wood notes in here, there's what they call precious woods in here, so I'm assuming there's maybe some type of oud within this scent. There's saffron that kind of plays back into that Oriental feel. And again, there's a smidge, tad, little sprinkle of sweetness within this scent. But all in all, this one takes a different approach than some of the others that you may see, like the Laytons out there or the New Pegasus Exclusive. This one has a bit drier vibe to it, and I like it. All in all, this one is a rich resinous scent that is slept on, and it also has that really masculine vibe to this one. This one smells rich to me. You spray this thing on, you smell like a boss for sure. Nissian from Parfum de Mali. Now we're down to the final two fragrances, and this next one on the list is technically listed as a unisex scent, but I think this one is a manly man's fragrance for sure. This one comes from Olfactive Studios, and this one is Woody Mood. Now, Woody Mood to me on first spray almost smells like this higher end Amen original type of vibe. There's this rubbery tar type of feel here, and there's a bit of sweetness that comes into this scent as well, but the rubber tar is definitely what I get. Now, although I get rubber and tar type of vibe in this one, I don't think tar is listed as a note. I think black tea is the note that's listed in this one. I also believe they have the cacao and styrex in this fragrance, but this is a manly man scent in my opinion. This is one that you can rock if you are looking to project as that confident, masculine guy. Rock this one and you'll be good. Now, obviously it has the name Woody Mood, so there's some wood nuances and some woody notes that you would find in this fragrance that actually come about in this one, but all in all, man, if you're looking for a fragrance that's not in everyone's collection, I know that some people like, yo, B, you know, I need something different. Well, this is one of those ones that are different. Actually, a lot of these fragrances on the list today are not ones that you're gonna find everywhere, but I think that this fragrance is super dope. Comes from a house that's underrated in my personal opinion. I can bring you some more reviews on this house, and this is the actual different bottle, so this is not the older bottle presentation that has like the little tape looking thing here. All in all, fragrance that I enjoy, Woody Mood from Olfactive Studio. And the final fragrance on today's list is one that is definitely one that I think of when I think of being masculine. I think of projecting that masculine image because a lot of guys that I know that are successful in life, and not saying that you have to be successful in life to wear this fragrance, or if that you are not successful in life if you don't have this scent, because that's not what I'm saying at all. That just those guys that have this fragrance that I know of that use this as a signature scent, and if you haven't seen my video about why you shouldn't wear a signature scent, I'll leave that listed down below as well. This fragrance is one that is enjoyable. This comes from the house of Creed, and it's not a Ventus. No, my friend. This one is Creed's Green Irish Tweed. Now, Green Irish Tweed, in my opinion, is a phenomenal scent. Top tier, actually. This is one of the most complimented fragrances from Creed within my collection, and for good reason. This one is crisp, it's clean, it's fresh, it's inviting, and this thing definitely does last. I really do enjoy this scent, and there's some of you out there be like, yo, you can find others for cheaper. You can, all right? But this is one of those fragrances that I personally really enjoy. I know a lot of people out there who utilize this fragrance as their signature scent. And I think if you had to choose a signature scent, aside from fragrances that I have, like Kilian, Exalt, Nuit, Bertrand, etc., this is a fragrance that you could try out. At the very least, I would urge you to have this one in your collection for a spring and summer staple, because it's definitely going to work in those situations. So man, those are 10 fragrances to help you smell more masculine, more manly, and more confident as well in your approaches. You should project that. Now listen, if you have not tried out my fragrance collection, hey, go over to Navitus website. It's down below. I have my fragrance collection there. Right now, we have my fragrance collection bundled in with Steven's fragrance collection, okay? And also Dallas from the channel of Chaos Fragrances. Our sample sets have been put together in a bundle package. You're gonna get 3 from Steven, you're gonna get 5 from me, you're gonna get 2 from Dallas, and you will also get Viva More from Money Kicks out in Dubai. So listen, man, I'll leave that stuff linked and listed down below for you if you care to check it out. We would love it. If not, I understand. As always, I'm your boy, Big Beard Beater, with the like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend that we are back again. Before we go, let me know what masculine fragrances you use, and also hit the goddamn bell.